One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. One in the hand, one in the hand, one in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. I'ma need all the fries you can give me, all the hot sauce, all the pie you can give me. Better be all in nothing, don't have me in the middle. You better be all.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. A moment ago, here was the scene. The Falcons coming out from their tunnel to the roar of all the folks here in Atlanta. We're ready for football as these Falcons get set to match up with the Houston Texans. Here's Bosher to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. On the ground, this is Lamar Miller. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards. It moves the sticks. Well, Charles, it feels like Lamar Miller's been around the NFL forever, but he's still just going to turn 28 in April. Well, this past year, though, 973 rushing yards, good for 12th in the league.
And you know that he's capable of being a 1,000-yard runner year in and year out, save for some injuries and maybe utilizing the pass game a little bit more in Houston. 4.6 yards per carry is a healthy number, and that was his highest since 2014 when he was with the Miami Dolphins.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They keep it with Miller on 1st down, and he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Come back! Down! Black 22! Black 22!
On 2nd down, here's Watson. Steps away to his left. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks it. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. And the defense could not have written a much better script than that first drive. Pick 6.
The offense never got a chance to really get oiled up there, did they? But the defense, they certainly got in gear. What a big-time play and a great way for them to start.
But now the offense, they've got to turn things around and figure this out because your backs are on the ground real quickly.
Yeah, usually when you're starting the game getting the ball, 0-0 is the only score you're worried about. Now the second time you get it, you're already down a touchdown. And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10.
Reset! Richmond!
From the gun, here's Watson. Forced out to his left. And his first look is incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
Tiger! Down! Black 22! Tiger!
2nd and 10. Watson. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Ricardo Allen with a pick. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Gun! We got three, fellas.
They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. Past the 20. Touchdown, Falcons. Devontae Freeman, 43 yards. And the Falcons will extend their lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Here's Bosher to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. But the Houston Texans, as they come onto the field, obviously their offseason hit a little earlier than they wanted in January, making it to the playoffs, losing to Indianapolis. That was the first time that two AFC South teams had actually met in the playoffs when they squared off with the Colts.
And think about how the two of them began the year. Houston began 0-3. The Colts began 1-5. Yet they both finished so hot. The Colts down the stretch, 9-1 in their last 10. Houston 8-2, and end up meeting in the playoffs. And both of them ended up winning on the other team's home field. The Colts did it twice. Houston did it once.
But as you said several times, hard for Houston to be completely disappointed with the ending. They have a lot to build on for next year. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Come back! Tiger!
Throwing again is Watson. He's letting this one go for Fuller. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
What I loved about meeting with these coaches before the game is we didn't even have to ask any questions. They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play, but look for them to try it again later.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson caught left side Hopkins. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans. So finally completes his first pass. Credit the defense, though. They've been showing him some different looks, keeping him off balance.
Yeah, I like the observation that you had there because when you give him different looks and give any quarterback different looks, it takes just a little bit longer to process sometimes, and you don't throw the ball with the same confidence. You're not sure that that's where you should go with the football. And that's worked for the defense early in this game. And now he's got his first completion.
And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins, 55 yards. And the Texans have cut it to within a score. They were already down 2 scores early. They needed something to try to stem that tide, and that certainly qualifies. A big play to get them in the end zone.
It qualifies indeed because, let's face it, they don't get something done on this drive, turn it back over, this game could be 88 and out the gate early.
What? 88 and out the gate?
Yeah.
What's that?
Well, listen, I used to hear my old man talk about it. It usually meant that thing's done.
Oh, well, now that they got the touchdown, it's not 88 and out the gate. We still got a good game going ahead of us. For the Falcons, Charles, we've talked all year about the injuries that they had in 2018, and you kind of touched on it earlier, too. It's hard to get around them, though, when you look back at this past year. So they go to 7-9, and I know that that's not what they wanted, but with all the injuries, is that okay?
It would be if you didn't think you were going to the Super Bowl. You know, if you didn't think you had a chance at that, and they did going into the season. But when you lose your starting safeties in Ricardo Allen and Keanu Neal, your middle linebacker, Deion Jones, for a long stretch of time, you end up starting 1-4. Then in the second half of the season, you have a 5-game losing streak. 7-9 is actually better than I thought that they were finishing because of those 2 long losing streaks.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you've said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the shotgun, Ryan. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2. They'll run for it. It's Freeman. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. 4th down, no problem. Just a ho-hum pickup of 14 to keep the offense on the field. They go play action here on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Second and 10. It's Ryan again. Over the middle, that's caught by Ridley. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
Gun. Let's go.
Now it's Ryan. And that is incomplete. Jonathan Joseph there on the coverage.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
The field goal unit's going to stay put on the sideline. They're going to go on 4th down here. They'll try and throw for it with Ryan. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. After the interception, here's Watson. Being chased out low. And here's another interception, the third of this first quarter. Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks it. And he will score. Touchdown, Falcons. So now 2 pick sixes that he's thrown in this first half of play. Where do you go from here?
Well, number one, make sure you keep your poise. Make sure you go to the sideline after throwing this second one, and you look like you're still in charge, that you're still the guy, because your team's going to feed off of you. And if you're having your hands on your head or shaking your head and walking with your head down, guess what? They're not going to rally at all.
That'll be taken in the end zone.
Any return that gets you to midfield is a great return. 1 first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
Well, CD, the NFL held its awards show the night before the Super Bowl, and as you and I had speculated the last few weeks, Patrick Mahomes, MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, and for the second straight season, how about Aaron Donald, Defensive Player of the Year?
Yeah, Donald was expected. We knew that was going to happen. Mahomes, we thought would happen. There was that school of thought that maybe Drew Brees might walk away with the MVP since he's never won one. But Mahomes a deserving winner. How about the Offensive Rookie of the Year? Saquon Barkley with the Giants. Many thought it might be Baker Mayfield with Cleveland.
Yeah, defensive rookie of the year, Darius Leonard of the Colts, and the Colts comeback player of the year, Andrew Luck, and very deservedly so.
I would say that for sure, and he beat out J.J. Watt, who also would have been a deserving winner. Coach of the year, I thought, was a close vote, or probably should have been closer to me, because I thought Anthony Lynn from the Chargers deserved some respect, but Matt Nagy of the Bears, he ends up winning the award. They went 12-4 in his rookie season.
And then last one we need to mention, Chris Long of the Eagles, well-deserved Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year. Congrats to all.
Yeah, how about that? Donated his first 4 game checks to fund a literacy program that donated free books and mentoring services for families. And remember, last season, he donated every game check to causes that he felt strongly about.
Here's Watson now on second down. Dancing to his left. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
Reset. Tiger. Come back. Richmond.
On third down, Watson. That's caught. It's Thomas. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
He's come a long way since his time at Georgia Tech. What did he run at Tech? He ran hitches and go routes, essentially.
And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. Lamar Miller taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Texans draw a bit closer. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, that was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. While we have a second here, let's peek back to the Super Bowl. The lowest scoring Super Bowl, Charles, in history, 13-3. And it took us 53 minutes to get our first touchdown of Super Bowl 53.
Can you believe they went into the half, 3-0 New England, Stephen Gostkowski with a field goal. Then they finally tie it up with Greg Zuerlein at the end of 3 quarters of the Rams knocking one through the post. The Patriots, the 3rd team to win the year after losing a Super Bowl, the first since the Dolphins in 1972.
And, of course, the big number now for New England, 6 titles, and they are tied with the Steelers for the most ever. On second down, Freeman. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
To throw is Ryan. He finds Coleman. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The pickup of 11, and it moves the chains. The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. He's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. On the handoff, it's Freeman. And he'll work his way inside the 30 now to the 28. It'll go as a gain of 7 on the play, and it sets up a 3rd and inches situation. Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. So 2 minutes to go in a wild first half. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout.
Hey, guys. 22! Let's go!
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Hey, wait. Let's go!
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Jadeveon Clowney able to drop him for a loss of a couple. They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. Now a handoff. It's Freeman. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. The Falcons on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll find his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. And now the Texans want to call another timeout, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So it looks like the offense isn't going anywhere. They're going to go for it on 4th and 7. From the gun, it's Ryan. And that is going to be incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And this Texans defense stands tall. Well, off topic, but we'd be remiss if we didn't point out what else was happening Super Bowl weekend. The Madden 19 Club Championship, 2nd major this season, 2 more to follow. And our winner, Pavin, representing the Oakland Raiders. He took down the Vikings, and your favorite, Charles, I.B. Strafen. He had to reach for the ibuprofen after a 38-24 beatdown in the final.
Well, you know, if he was representing the Oakland Raiders, the Vikings went down, and they went down hard. That's how the Raiders do it.
How about Pavin, though, wins $100,000 for his efforts, also won Super Bowl tickets for the next day, unselfishly gave them to his father and his brother.
How about that? That's pretty cool. Congratulations, Pavin. Way to go.
On 2nd down, here's Miller. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons, as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half.
Reset. Tiger.
They'll try to run for it with Miller. And he is going to get the first down as he covers up after a pretty good shot there. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Come back.
On 1st down, Watson. Eluding the pressure right. He's going to let this go deep. Back over. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Keanu Neal. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Ready. Tuesday. Line 51. What's the run? On! Gun. Ready, set!
After the interception, here's Ryan. He completes it to Julio Jones. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. A handoff, Devontae Freeman. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. And Bryant's kick is good. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So out come the Falcons now. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play. And that's one of the few times they've been able to contain him. He's had a heck of a game, and maybe he's getting a little bit tired from how many times he's carried the ball. But I always think back to what all those old coaches say. The ball's not that heavy. Keep carrying it, kid.
Mike 51. Hey, D-line. Hey, gun. Hey, express. Shake it, Humphrey. Left. 12. 22. 21. Kill. 39.
They snap it at 1. Now Ryan escaping the pressure right. Now he'll let it go. Oh, wide open, complete. Touchdown, Falcons. Julio Jones, 73 yards. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half,
and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Tech McKinley in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Watson. Going deep for Hopkins. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way down to the 37. Watson to Hopkins for a huge hookup. 41 yards.
Reset.
A first down carry now for Miller. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
Richmond.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
To throw on second is Watson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Hopkins. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first.
Black 99, feel it. Richmond. Tiger.
On first down, it's Watson. And he fires one incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. And it's second down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10.
Black 22.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Watson. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. To the air yet again. Watson. Underneath for Miller. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
And they're able to get this one across the 35. That good for 19 and a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll run it now out of the gun. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. Jonathan Joseph there for the tackle.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple yards out of it. Those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Going underneath, it's Coleman. Call it a 3-yard gain, and just like that, it's third down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate Big plays for an offense.
They give him 27 yards on the third down conversion. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him, and he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11.
Right. Ready. 11. Gun.
On 2nd down, here's Ryan. Connects with Sanu right side. Give him 30 yards there. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
They'll look to run with Freeman. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score one touchdown,
you want two.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got one, but was denied as he tried to get the second one.
They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them. But all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
They'll try and run. Freeman. And he'll get it down close to the goal line, but not quite in. This defense bending but not breaking. It's a gain of 3. It's now 4th and goal. The offense is staying out there. Here we go on 4th and goal from the 1. Ryan keeps it on the sneak. And he's not even going to come close to picking up the first. They stop him right at the line of scrimmage. They try the sneak, but not enough push. He doesn't get in. And this Texans defense comes up with a goal line stand. They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. And now where are they going to mark him here? Well, they say he did get back to the 1-yard line, but that could have easily been 2 points the other way.
Reset. Richmond.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So step off the 5 yards.
Yeah, partner, you know, defensive end, he wants to get into the offensive backfield. He wants that get off to be as fast as possible. A little too quick on that one.
So the penalty certainly helps them out as they come up on 2nd and 5.
Reset.
After the penalty, it's Miller. Oh, the spin. And they'll bring him down right around the 13. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield, incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Richmond.
Now Watson going to throw again. Buying time to his left. Now he'll let it go deep left side. And got his man complete. And a nice spin into some open field. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. A big-time play there for the Texans. 64 yards. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone.
Tiger, tiger, tiger.
On 1st and 10, Watson steps away to his left. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He will push his way down to about the 14. Vic Beasley able to make the tackle. 3rd and 2, Watson. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. The catch made by Miller. And he's able to pick up the 1st down before he's tackled right at the 10. So give him the 1st down. 1st and goal after a pickup of 4. And the decision to go for it pays off. Here's Watson. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone.
I know you felt like saying touchdown there, didn't you, partner? That looked like a sure 6 points, but the contact jarred it free.
Got his hands on it, could not hold on through the end of the play. They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal. Throwing again is Watson. Got a man open. It's Fuller for the Texans touchdown. Will Fuller from 10 yards out. And the Texans cut into that lead. And the lead cut down to 9. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. A 20th carry now for Freeman. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
22.
It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. Freeman again, a 1st down carry. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Ryan wants to throw it. Forced out to his left. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. The Falcons on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This will be 3rd and 6.
Gun! Ready!
They'll run it now out of the gun. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. And now the Texans want to call another timeout as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Left. Let's go.
Here's Ryan. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. A big pickup there, and without question, that should be more than enough to wrap this one up. They'll run here with Freeman. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1. On the keeper, here's Ryan. And he is not going to get in as the big bodies stop him at the 1. Officially no gain on the sneak. Kind of a wasted play there, and now it's 3rd down. On 3rd down, Devontae Freeman. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that will bring up an interesting decision here on 4th and goal. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Logan Paulson, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Falcons will extend their lead.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Now Ryan. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here.
Tiger, tiger, tiger. Tiger, tiger, tiger.
Now a 1st down throw, Watson. Being chased out left. He's going to let it fly. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Try and get it all back with one big shot right there, but even if successful, that doesn't get them all the way back to where they need to be. Can't totally abandon throwing the ball underneath as well.
Black 22. Black 22.
One last throw here for Watson. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it, and they've got to go back and check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them, and continue to get better at what they do. But they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.
drive an all-white range. Couldn't hit if it had ain't. Lanes can't call it and you lame. You had it and you lost it, all the shame. I can buy a Bentley, don't talk to me. For a show 150, don't talk to me.